This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing, and I'm joined by world champion Savannah Marshall here in London. Savannah, firstly, how are you?
I'm good, I'm really good.
Glad to hear. Now, this is probably going to be the 10th interview, if not more, of the day, and you'll get some very similar questions, well, hopefully some unique ones. Savannah, firstly, just talk to me about obviously the initial disappointment of having the fight fall through about a month ago. How did you find kind of dealing with that? It's out of your own hands, but yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing I could do, couldn't change anything. It was unfortunate that, it was 2 days before the fight. But I was just grateful to Sky and Boxer to get the fight on 5 weeks later so quickly.
5 weeks later, as you say. Talk to me about trying to manage your weight in between. Obviously, you was just peaking. Obviously, the fight got called off on the Friday, so you would have had the weigh-in. How did you find not obviously ballooning up, but not keeping yourself on fight weight?
To be honest, I don't really balloon anyway, so that's weight's not really an issue for me.
Savannah, when you look at this fight and you look at the challenges you've had in your career, Claressa's been vocal that you haven't fought anybody obviously on a scale yet on her level. What do you need to do to overcome her on Saturday night?
Claressa just talks a load of waffle. I've never come across anybody that screams insecure in my life. She contradicts herself all the time. 1 minute I'm a puncher, the next minute I'm not. 1 minute I'm elite, the next minute I'm crap. It's just, I don't listen to a word she says, like I said, because she just contradicts herself 24/7.
I asked her earlier about the victory you have over her from the amateur days, and she said that she doesn't understand why it's continued to be brought up, because in that time frame she's become a multi-weight world champion, won so many world titles. She don't understand why people keep bringing it up. Do you believe that it does frustrate her, or it's just brought up for the sake of being brought up?
People keep bringing it up because it's the reaction she gives. That's the reason. If she was to turn around and say, yeah, I was beat by the better fighter, no one would probably say a word about it, but it's because she sees red and goes ballistic.
People going into this fight have looked at you as the more heavy-handed of the two. Claressa maybe the better boxer of the two. You might disagree with that, but that's just kind of how it's been portrayed. What happens on Saturday night, though? Do you think your boxing skill set's been overlooked heading into this fight?
The only reason people say she's more of the boxer is because she hasn't hurt anybody. So what else can they say about her? She's got all the belts, and how did she get them? Oh, she's a better boxer. It's the only reason why people say that.
What have you made of her performances when you've watched her over here, especially when you go back to her fight in Cardiff back in February? Watching her live, what do you take away from it in comparison to seeing like old footage or a past fight on television?
She's never... Look, she does the same thing. She's never had to change, because what she does works for her. So, she's never had to change. She's never shown anything. Look, she could have loads of tricks up her sleeve, whatever, that we haven't seen before. But she's never been pushed the way I'm going to push her on Saturday.
It's an interesting point you make, that you said that she's never been pushed before. When you go into the ring with her on Saturday, you'll see yourself, and she might well agree, that you're her toughest fight so far in her pro career. Do you believe she has more levels to give?
We'll have to see on Saturday.
Savannah, I also want to get your thoughts on the fight beneath yourself, Mayer-Baumgardner. What's your take?
I think it'll be a fight of two halves. I think if Baumgardner catches her, she can hurt her. But I can't see her outboxing Michaela. And I think if Baumgardner doesn't stop her earlier on, I think Michaela might stop Baumgardner later on.
Final one, Savannah. Obviously, last week we heard the news of a positive VADA test in the case of Conor Benn. I just want to get your thoughts on that. What went through your mind when you heard it?
It's a shame. It's a massive shame for boxing. I'm a big Conor Benn fan, and I'm gutted. But look, I think VADA are brilliant. I really do, and I hope it gets resolved. And I hope, he's innocent until proven guilty, really, isn't he? Until he gets his day in court. But until then, can't really voice my opinion.
Right, Savannah, I appreciate your time. I know I've got to move on now, so thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Yeah, cheers.